You?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. It's so nice to see you again. How have you been?
I've been really good. Things are finally starting to come together.
That's amazing. And did you get to go to court? I know the last time I know that we went there. Do you have any feedback from the last court visit? I know I met you at the courthouse and we got to chat a little bit, but I really wanted to know how you felt after the hearing.
Sure. So it turned out better than I thought, actually. My whole time I was worried that I was going to end up serving jail time, that I was going to, lose my kids, and none of that happened. So the judge said that, yes, I was guilty. And because I don't have a license, they're just going to go ahead and have me take some courses, and I'm going to pay my fines. And I'm definitely never doing that again, but that was the end of it.
Good. And I'm happy to hear that you are showing your self-reflection, right? You went there, you heard what the judge had to say, and you are acknowledging that it was wrong. And I see that you're very grateful that there wasn't any harsh punishment. And I don't think that you were deserving of any harsh punishment because, everyone makes mistakes. And I'm happy that the judge got to see the you that I see in these meetings. I think you were authentically
Yes.
yourself. And I think that I really do commend you on how you represented yourself that day. And like you said, it's a work in progress and you know better for next time. And I'm sure that, this get out of jail free card is a great incentive for you to do the right thing going forward. So that's amazing. I wanted
Absolutely.
to just talk a little bit about updates from our last meeting, right? So in our last meeting, we created a treatment plan for you. We spoke about a lot of the goals that we wanted to do. We spoke about making arrangements for your children. We've talked about getting counseling and therapy for you and your children. We've talked about employment. We talked about childcare. So many things that we came up with all of our goals and how we were going to get there. So, have you accomplished anything that you could say we can kind of like check off that list and we can say, okay, this is in motion?
Absolutely. So this has been a really productive week. Um, I did get on with that one company as their receptionist. I think being bilingual, I was able to get a leg up on other candidates. So I started that yesterday. That was my first day yesterday. Um, let's see, the kids. I was able to get Ryan into the Head Start program that we had talked about when you helped me fill out the application.
Awesome. That was a quick turnaround.
Yeah, so he was able to get in. And then the daycare center that we went to, we checked out together, the one that was just about 2 blocks from my house.
Right.
They called me and they were able to get the boys in. They pick Jose up from school after his school stuff, and they take him to daycare. And then when I get off of work, I get off a stop before I usually would, and I just walk past there. I pick the boys up and we walk home together.
That is so amazing to hear. I think that that is
Yeah.
such an amazing step in this journey on everything that you wanted to do. I'm happy that you trusted me to help
Yes.
you set up these, do the application, and you trusted also yourself in knowing that you were making a good decision for your kids. I know how hard it can be to let go of your kids, especially when they're with you most of the time or in the care of a loved one. It's very hard to trust an organization to take on that responsibility of your kids. And so I really commend you. That is so amazing. And it's very, very great to hear. I
One
think,
more thing I did
sure.
forget is that the boys are both in counseling now. I was able to get both of them in to the same person.
Well, and do they go 2 times a week, 1 time a week?
They're 2 times a week, yes.
That's amazing. And do you get to join in on the sessions or is it only a personal session for the boys?
For that one, it's just for the boys. I figure
Okay.
we need to each do separately, and then I'm hoping eventually we could do family.
That is such a good goal to have after that. I think it is also important that once they're exposed, they'll be a lot more open. And so that is so amazing. And I'm really, really very happy for you.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
very
I'm
happy.
so happy, yes.
I'm also I want to just take a look back and reopen up the conversation about housing. I know that things have been a little bit difficult for you, and that's something that I know you're still trying to work on. So we can kind of like reopen that, reassess, maybe think about some new resources, and kind of come up with a new plan for that specific area because it seems like everything else has really been checked off. And so that's the one
Yes,
last thing that we really need to work on.
I agree. Yes.
Okay, so do you know any of the housing resources in your neighborhood?
I have no idea where to start with anything.
Okay. So I know of a really, really good application that you can fill out, which is for low income homes. And now that you have a job and you've started there and you're starting to get a paycheck, you could provide a pay stub. And when they agree that you have a low income and you fall within the thresholds, you can then apply for like a lottery apartment, right? And it doesn't take that long. People usually get called back within 2 to 3 months, which I think is a reasonable time for you to get yourself together. And the bright side is that most of these apartments are fully furnished, which is amazing because I know that
Very
it might be
nice.
very difficult for you to get set up. So basically, the state will pay for a portion of your apartment. And then based on your income, they will meet you in the middle with a reasonable amount that you can pay. So if you want, we can also go ahead and fill out that application.
I would love that. Is that application online or would that be something I have to go get?
No, it's online. You can do it here. Just like we did the childcare one, we let you use some of our computers here, or you have the resource of your library, and now even your job. I'm sure that you have a computer where you work. So whatever you feel comfortable with, but I am here to help you, and we can do it together in case there's any questions. We can definitely do it together, but you can also take your time and do it on your own if that's something that you want to work on your own.
Think I'd really appreciate the help just because sometimes I don't always understand exactly what it's wanting.
Of course. So, you know what? We'll take some time out at closer to the end of our session and we'll jump on that computer. I really do think it's like a 10 to 15-minute
Perfect.
process if you have that extra time today.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Awesome. So, is there anything else that you want to add into your treatment plan or anything else that you're working towards?
Yeah. So when we first started, you had given me those positive affirmations to do. And I love doing those. They set my morning off on a great note. I feel like they kind of built a little bit more of self confidence. I notice it when I seem to always have daily stressors. I always seem to be on edge. Um, Maybe if you have something that could help me kind of relax or just kind of bring me back to the moment.
Okay. So, we talk about our positive reinforcers, right?
Um,
I think another way to do it is not just saying them, but also to have them somewhere you can see them, right? Whether it be
okay,
something that you can hang up in your home or something, if there's a favorite place where you write your notes and just a little sticker to remind you or post it on your mirror when you go to brush your teeth in the morning because sometimes we
sure.
can say them to ourselves, but when we visually see positive things happening around us, or we run into this place and we might have it and we read that one saying and it kind of just brings us back to where we're standing right there and say, you know what, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe this is a good day and I'm just not seeing it right now. And I
Okay.
also think that maybe you should start a journal, right? And you should write in that journal whenever you have time, whether it's a good day or a bad day. And that is the way that you write down your reflections of what that's been going on in your day. So you can identify, maybe I'm frustrated and I don't know why. But once you start writing down about your day, that thing might click and say, oh, this is it. This was the one thing that kind of
Yeah.
stuck out to me in the day that kind of took me off balance. So I think those are two very important things: reading, writing, and seeing positive things in your ambiance and in your space. Do you take any time out to yourself away from the boys?
I really don't.
And I know it must be very hard because you go to work and when you get out of work, you pick them up and then it's home to do all of their stuff. I think
Yes.
that while they're in counseling and they have that time to themselves with the counselor, utilize that hour or 2 hours, however long they are with their therapist, and get yourself a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Sit down and really take that moment to reflect and make it about you. They're safe, they're with their counselor, they're talking, they're getting therapy. And in that moment, I just want you to think about you. And I really want you to reflect on everything that you're going through, everything that you're dreaming of, and take that moment and really soak it up for yourself. I think that that's super duper important.
Okay. I like that idea. Now,
Okay,
this
so
journal, is that something you're going to want to see later on, or is that just for me?
that is just for you. And if you would like to share something, I would love to hear what if you write something in there and you say, I really want to come and tell Miss Medina what's going on here and what I thought and what I wrote. And it could be a poem, it could be a song, it could be 3 words.
Okay.
But you wrote down something that you felt was important to you that day and something that you really wanted to get off your chest that maybe you don't have a companion or a friend to say it to. And you put it
Okay.
there. And when you come here, if you say, Miss Medina, I really have to read this to you because it really touched me and I feel like you will understand me better if I read
Okay.
this to you. I would love to get inside of those thoughts for you. But if you want to keep it to yourself, that's perfectly fine. This is for you and for your growth.
Okay.
Okay, do you like that?
I do. Yes. Thank you.
I also wanted to bring up to you that we are coming closer to our last session.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
Um, I feel a little nervous. I worry that, once we're done, what if things come up and I don't know how to cope with it? What if I don't know where to go for resources? Who is going to be there to pretty much back me up the way you have?
Yes. It is a very common thing because when you make an attachment and you form an attachment with somebody, it's very difficult to let that go and feel like this
Right.
person is going to be out of your life completely. So I don't want you to leave with the idea that I will be out of your life completely. You always have my contact information. If you feel like you want to come in and have some more sessions and you need some extra help, you can always call the office here. We can always set up some time. And if I'm not
Okay.
available, we have plenty of well practiced individuals here who would love to speak to you. And I also want you to just remember all of the things that you took from here to remind you that you're not alone. You now have all of these new skills that you didn't have when you walked in here. So even if I'm not in your physical life, we have built all of these skills together, and all of the things that you've done have been on your own. Yes, I've
Okay.
helped you fill out applications. I've helped you, talk through some of the thoughts that were struggling for you, but you did the hard work. You went out there, you found a place for your children, you found a job all on your own. I didn't sit in that meeting, I didn't sit in that interview. You spoke for yourself. You are so sure of yourself. And whenever you have doubt, I just want you to remember all of those skills that we worked on here and carry that confidence with you all the time because it's so
Perfect.
important. And I see such an amazing transition from our first session till now.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So if you don't have any more questions for me and I don't have anything else to say for you, then we can head over to the computers and we can get that started.
Absolutely. That sounds fantastic. And thank you again for all that you've done to help me and, just provided me with the tools I needed to succeed.
I hope you really do feel that way. I'm so happy to see you and I'm so happy to see you in this new light and I can promise you there's a brighter future ahead.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Maria,
Hi, how are you?
hi. It's so nice to see you again. I'm doing well. How have you and the boys been?
Everyone has been great. I'm happy to say.
Good. How's your week been going?
Everything's been going good. So, if I may tell you, the boys are doing amazing. They're both in counseling now. They've been getting therapy.
Yay.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. They get therapy 2 times a week. Um, and it's been very helpful for them. I see a really big change in their attitude. They
Good.
they really do enjoy it. Ryan started Head Start,
That's
so that's
amazing.
yes. So our application, luckily, once we filled it out within the same week, I got a call back. There was a spot open in the facility 2 blocks away from my house, so it's very convenient for me to pick him up. And
Fantastic.
Jose is in school just up the block from his Head Start program, so everything just plans out so perfectly.
Good. Were we able to finally come to a final conclusion on the daycare?
Yes. So the
Okay,
daycare is that was the one that's 2 blocks up from my house. So everything is like right next to each other. Um
perfect.
the Head Start program is there. Up the block is where Jose is, and they both have after school care, so they get picked up and then taken to where my son has the Head Start.
Gotcha. Okay. And I know the last time I seen you, we were in court. You had went through the DUI. How are you feeling about the outcome?
So I think that I did well. I was very, very nervous. I don't know if you could tell, but
Yes.
think more importantly, I was just happy that the judge saw that I was very apologetic and it was something that I by no means had any ill intentions of doing. Um and I'm happy with the sentence. I'm happy, unfortunately I'm guilty and my license is suspended, but I will do the courses that they recommended and I'll pay my fines, slowly. They offered me a payment plan so I don't have to pay it in a lump sum, which I appreciated.
Good.
And I know that that's something that I never want to do again or be involved in again. So I think that I'm just happy to say that my kids weren't taken away. I didn't go to jail. I really am trying to look at the bright side.
Absolutely. And that's a great way to look at it. Be positive about it. It could have been worse. It was a really good outcome.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So I am so happy to hear all of this with, everything working out with you and the kids. You've got that job.
Yes, I love it actually.
Okay.
Amazing. My boss has been so lenient, gave me the day off to go to court, and
Wow.
they've been very understanding and they welcomed me with open arms. I am the only bilingual speaking employee there, so I think they
Ooh,
very much value my services to them, and it's been going great.
so happy to hear that. Yes. Um, okay. So let's just recap. So we were able to we're employed. We have daycare. We've got the kiddos taken care of. They're engaged in services. What do we have left?
So I think the only thing that I have left is I really just want a home of our own. I want space for the boys. I want them to have their
Yes.
own. Unfortunately, when I was growing up, we were all crammed, so many of us in a small house. And my dream is just to give them their space. They're growing boys. They need room to grow. They need room to be themselves and express themselves. And I really do want to provide that for them. And it's very, very hard to find a decent home, especially, I'm not making that money since I just started working.
Could not agree with you more. So what I'm hearing is that you would like to start the process of maybe getting your housing stuff going, filling out maybe applications for, affordable housing income projects, stuff like that. We could maybe even look at going through Section 8 or HUD housing.
Okay. I think that's nice.
Okay.
My grandmother actually her apartment through Section 8. I was under the impression that they weren't doing that anymore. Is that something that's still available?
So it is something that's available. Sometimes the waiting list can be a little bit longer than most people would like. And that's why I suggested, we could do both. We could see if about signing you up. Maybe you won't need it. You'll be able to just do maybe the more affordable housing, like a low income housing.
Okay. I'm open up to any ideas at this point. I've learned here with you that it doesn't hurt to try. You know, I was very
Yes.
anxious about doing the Head Start application, and I did it, and turned out to be one of the best things ever. So I really am open to trying something new.
Yeah, well, I'd love to help you assist you in meeting this goal. Um, so I guess let's kind of make a new plan, So we've accomplished a lot. You've really come very far. And what I'm hearing now is that we just need to find housing. That is our main goal. That's our plan, is to continue services, get into housing, and just keep getting better each day.
Right. I think that right now I have a momentum of just doing all of these things. I feel very encouraged right now, and I'm very hopeful of everything that I'm accomplishing.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, I know sometimes this encouragement can kind of dwindle down a little and we start to feel maybe anxious or a little stressed out. I don't want you to, you know, overdo it too much.
Yeah, I have experienced that in the past where when things become stagnant, I don't know what to do. I feel like my back's up against the wall. But what I'm trying to do is just take every day, like, we spoke about positive affirmations. And so every day is a
Yes.
good day. I wake up every morning and I tell myself, today is a good day, regardless if it goes my way or not. I'm up, I'm alive, my kids are healthy, I'm healthy. I really just try to look at the positive aspects of it. And it's really is what
Yes.
keeps me going.
Well, I love your optimism. So you mentioned that you are still doing the positive affirmations. How would you feel about taking that maybe a little bit, like a step further, in doing maybe a morning meditation?
Ooh, I
Or
like
even
that.
an afternoon meditation. You've got your positive affirmations in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we kind of just ground ourselves.
Yes, I love that. I think it also will go really well. I started watching some yoga videos and I really do try to do
Wonderful.
some yoga on my downtime. I can't afford any classes, but luckily there are some YouTube videos that I follow along at home, and I really do love it. It really brings me a lot of peace.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. What if I what if I make a list of all the different places in town, or do you have any specific locations you'd like to look at for housing?
So I don't know. I do know that I want to stay in the area of my grandma's house. I would love that just because the travel right now is very convenient for picking up the boys. I'm only 2 stops away on the bus from my job. So it really is such a smooth transition. So I would like to look around my area. And I believe that some of the churches and hospitals do have rooms and where they sign up people for housing. So maybe I can try
Yes.
there.
Yes. So what we can do is, I know one of our sessions, you said that having a computer somewhere to print off applications, that was kind of a struggle. What if we take 15 minutes of each session, 15 to 20 minutes, and we fill out an application? We could even start with the building your grandmother lives in now.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. Sure.
Perfect. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll cut this short a little bit. We'll fill out the application at the end, and then afterwards, we can schedule more appointments, one or two more appointments. I think before we've actually closed that session out.
That is what I wanted to talk to you about. I am getting anxious about not
Yes.
having our weekly meetings anymore. Um, I don't want to sound like I'm dependent on these meetings, but you have been such an incredible help to me, and I really don't know how far I could have gotten without you. And so it scares me a little that I feel like maybe when these sessions end, that encouragement and that feeling of those positive vibes would end for me too. And it really does make me anxious.
Sure. And Maria, you've been through so much, but you've also come so far. So it's understandable to have these feelings. But I just want you to remember, be kind to yourself and always remember how far you've come. When you first came in, you were unemployed. The kids were, acting up. They were not as happy. I definitely see that everybody's happier now. You guys were not as happy. And you were so stressed out that you couldn't even hardly function. And now you're working a full-time job. Your kiddos are all taken care of. They are so safe, and that is very important. And you are just striving to meet those goals. You want your own house now.
Yes, I do. I do try to remember that all the time. I couldn't imagine myself here when we first started. Um, and I just know that I've learned so much here. So I just want to continue to learn and continue to grow and take all of those things with me because they have helped me so much and they've really changed me. I could say that now this is more of a lifestyle for me rather than me just doing something to meet a goal. I feel like I used to
Yay.
live my life just getting a job because I had to make money, and now I'm getting the job because I want stability for me and my family, and I want it to be a lifelong thing. I want benefits. I want a retirement plan. I have hope for my future.
Yes, and I love all of that, and I hope all of that for you. So
Mm-hmm.
what I will also do is I know we're going to fill out the applications.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm going to print out a list of some other facilities. That'll be your homework assignment for the week, is I want you just to kind of maybe when you're taking the bus, look at some of these areas. I've mapped them out to where they're around the bus route, so you wouldn't have to worry too much about that. But just in case you're not able to find that one at your grandma's, maybe we could find something in the meantime just to get you started and get you a feel for your own place.
I think that's a great idea, and I would really appreciate that. Sometimes it's just
Sure.
having resources, and so if you give me the places, I promise I will take a look on my way home.
That's fantastic. I've also got you a list of some places that will help you with the furnishings, maybe some clothes if you need them for you and the boys. Um, and so let's just recap on this plan. I've got it set out. The first thing we're going to work on is controlling the anxiety and the stress. We're going to do some relaxation and grounding techniques to learn. We'll practice them here in the session, and then you could take them home and use them during your day.
Okay.
I'd also like to add in strengthening family communication and rebuilding trust. I feel like those are vital steps towards healing and growth for you and the boys. And so to do this, I want to recommend setting aside maybe some regular family time as well as your own individual personal time, just for you. Like even if it's just so much as taking a bath after the boys have gone to bed.
Yes.
Okay. And then we will we're going to include going to the housing locations. I've got that printed out. You'll grab that on your way out as well. And Maria, I want you to remember that this plan is your plan. So at any time you feel that there's something we need to add or something that's too much, your input is very much appreciated. This is your plan. And I want to know, like, how do you feel about that so far?
I love the plan. I don't feel pressured. I
Good.
feel like all of the goals that we have made so far are realistic goals. There's something
Mhm.
that I can get immediate, maybe not so much immediate satisfaction for, but I know that it's not an unrealistic goal, a goal that is so far out of my reach that I just feel like I'm reaching and reaching and reaching and I'm never getting there. So I really do like our plan. I feel like it's going at my pace. I feel like
Good.
everything has been being checked off, and that's encouraging to me to see that it is. And so
Yes.
right now, the plan that we have, in addition to finding housing, I think it's an amazing plan.
Perfect. Um, okay, so we do have a few minutes left. I'm going to ask, is there anything else that you'd like to add into the session that we want to talk about?
No, I think I'm so good. I'm ready to go fill out those housing applications and let's see where it takes us for the next one.
Fantastic. So while I've got you here in the office, let's go ahead and schedule that next appointment, and then we'll see you back in a week.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So we did 15 minutes. We did good.
Good. That was great. I love the
Yes.
ending. I love your ending. I love the recap. I love using all of the like techniques and all that stuff. It was
Thank
very
you.
good.
Yeah. I feel like if we have those resources ready to print out, they're not, I don't know. I always feel like if you're prepared, you look like you know your stuff.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. Um,
So
but yeah, I do like the way that, she's definitely she's always ready to reach her goals. Maria is always ready to go. I love that about you
Yes, she
guys.
is a strong Latina woman. Like
Yes.
it's like so much that it's really it's so much of what I saw my whole life, right? Like my grandma was a single mother of 6 children who
My goodness.
really like just made a way in the craziest of lives to just keep your kids on track and keep pushing forward and say, okay, yes, it was a bad day, but so what? Tomorrow's another day, and we're gonna find this and we're gonna find that. And maybe we won't have the best right now, but maybe it's setting us up for better in the future. Like my grandma's so just optimistic, like, and there was, of course, there's always days like us as mothers, like there's days that I'll go in the shower and I'll have a good cry because even when you have
Right.
house and you have food and you have it's still hard to be a woman. It's still hard to be
Yes.
a mother.
Yep.
And those pressures are beyond. They're beyond. And like I say all the time,
Yeah.
luckily for me, I'm a two-parent, I have my husband, and we are a two-parent household, a two-income family, and it's still so hard. It's still
Yeah.
so hard. No matter which way you put it, it's so hard to be anything. So I think that it's a good thing when you have positive people around you pushing you, because you can get lost in that and you can say, you know what, I give up and I don't care where my kids go to school and I don't care if we eat today and I don't care. Like so many people do. And so she's
Yeah.
like, no, what's the goal? All right, we're gonna go get it.
Yep. I love that. I think that makes it easier to, add things to her plan too. And I do like that, when they're
Like,
easygoing.
okay, I got here. Now I want to go on the next step. And I want to go on the next step. So it's easy for her to have goals.
Yes. Yeah. I almost wish somebody in our group would have been like, I'm not going to be as compliant and just, kind of give that pushback to
Yeah,
see how we really do.
right. We should have, like, because how many do we have left? Is it just one more?
I think it's the closing one.
Because, like, maybe the one before this one should have been that rebel one. I know, right? So we could have gotten like a different perspective. That would have been
Yeah. Okay.
So, hello everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So I guess we're gonna do our 5 minutes review on what the session that we had yesterday. Um Sharice, I was gonna let you know that you made everything comfortable. You did a great job, even though cause I feel like real life instances, I know you were like paranoid about the coughing, but you incorporated and you made it still a good time. You still gave me all the resources. You gave me everything you had, even in the midst of all of that. And you just made it a natural moment to me.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. And Kiara, I love the way that you came up with those ideas for the family to get together. What was it? The role play, not role play.
The play through kids. I'm sorry. The counseling session through play.
Yes, I love that idea. And you don't think about that if you don't work with children, you forget about things that will work better for kids. So, having that knowledge and incorporating things to do with adults and with children was superb.
Right. And for someone like me that's all over the place sometimes, I love the fact that you listed everything. You were able to change the treatment plan. It wasn't like, hey, this is what I have for you set in stone and you need to go by this, that. You made it my plan. So, and if I wanted to add, you found creative ways to just add it in at the end. And you made sure you wrote everything down and had a list for
Yes.
everything for me when it was time to go.
Yeah. And I do. I like the way you assume that Maria role and you're like, well, you make it very real. So, and it makes it easier to do the social work part of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. So, Alexis,
So,
how was
yeah.
your
Yes, our experience was really good. When I reflecting on when I was Maria and Sharice was the social worker, she just seemed like she always has like things ready for me. She's like a ready to go person. She has resources just in case I didn't show up and wasn't present with the things. She was like, okay, no problem. I have
Yes.
this list right here and we can do it. So I think that that's so helpful. Um, and it really shows that she takes her job seriously. It really shows that she does her homework as the social worker, because it's like one thing to tell your client, okay, go out and find your resources, but she's also showing that I'm also doing my homework. So when you show up here, I'm also ready for you. I have all of these things available for you. I have knowledge about some of the things that you're struggling with. So as the client, I felt so confident with her. I felt so comfortable. I felt like she had my best interest at heart. And that was something that I also expressed to you, Sharice, yesterday after the session, that like when we mentioned that these were going to be our last couple of sessions coming up, I was like, it's going to be a loss for me in a sense, like because you were so helpful to me and you were on target about everything. So when the sessions are over, I'm going to miss that support because you really served as a support for me and you really stood up for me. And that's something that I feel like Maria never had in her life.
Yeah. Oh,
I think that you
she
did a
might have
real good
froze.
job. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Oh, nope. We lost her.
I could hear. Well, I guess Sharice, you can do
Nope.
your part. We have okay.
Okay, yeah. So I will say, when Lexis was doing her part as both social worker and Maria, she was so good about just being, it felt like she really related to my situation, related to the situation. And during the time when she was the social worker, same for her. She had the answer. She was ready to go. It didn't matter what I threw at her. She was able to combat it with, well, here, let's try this, or here's something. And she didn't use things that were just in her location. She used things that were like well known. And you did the same thing. It was so nice to be able to hear things that even I knew about. I'm in Oregon and you guys are on the East Coast, and things that you mentioned, it was like, oh, I know what that is though. So that was really nice. Yeah. And you guys both, you're so easy to talk to. And I know we're role playing, but you guys just made it feel very like it flowed. It was easy just to kind of get in there.
Yes, I think you did a good job with that as well.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to stop.
Hi, Maria. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you again for showing up here today.
Yeah. I'm really happy to be here today.
Yeah, so I know a lot. We've gone through a lot so far. We've gone to court, thankfully, and we've gotten that situated. We've identified some daycares and after school programs for both of your boys, and now we're just moving on to other parts now. So is there anything that you would like to talk about specifically today?
I know that I need to start working on my living situation. I've got the job. The boys are in daycare and school. They are doing great now that they're in counseling. As I said, my work is going great. I need to start working on my housing and paying
Oh,
my fines for my DUI, of course.
absolutely. Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that actually. And so what I wanted to talk about today was a plan that I put together that I feel would address all of the challenges that we discussed, and then also just help us
Mhm.
move forward with the goals that you've identified for yourself and then also for your family. So if you have a moment, I would love to just walk you through it, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So first, we'll focus on just making sure that your immediate needs are met. And that's pretty much what we've been focusing on over the course of the last couple of weeks with securing childcare for your boys. Just attending job interviews, which is why you now have this job, thank God. And then also just exploring other resources and programs that would be available to you. So from
Right.
there, the next thing I want to make sure that regarding the DUI, we just make sure we explore some support groups that can offer you any type of guidance and support you need to help you along with the process. And then to see if there is any way they can assist you with your funds. Now for your family, I know we're considering counseling options to help improve the communication and rebuild the trust because it's important that you all feel supported. throughout this time. I think we've pretty much covered the part with employment because you've already gotten your employment. So that
Yes.
part is a plus. So now, after that, you could just kind of look more into the job opportunities that might match your skills and your goals and just figure out some long-term goals for you when it comes to the job. With
Right.
regards to housing now, I know you've mentioned wanting to have housing for you and your babes. So we'll definitely utilize some local agencies to find stable and affordable housing for you and your family. And then for your well-being, definitely find some stress management strategies. I think that's
That would be
important.
great. Yes.
Yeah, because I think we can both say you had an equal amount of stress on you, and so it's good to have an outlet to help you.
I agree. Yes.
Okay. And then, of course, just monitor our progress together, making any adjustments wherever we need to, and just checking in, just to make sure that all of your goals just remain aligned with all of the needs that you have and make sure everything is met, because this is supposed to be a whole collaborative process. I want to make sure that you have some input as well. How does that sound to you?
That sounds great. I really like the idea of, being able to put my 2 cents worth in there.
Okay. So do you have any more feedback that you would like to share? Any thoughts about, the proposed treatment plan? Any areas of concern specifically?
Mm, my biggest thing is housing, and I just, there's so much to it. I want to make sure that I'm in a decent school district and somewhere that's within walking distance to parks or other things that we're going to need. As we don't have a vehicle, and that might be something else we can work on, is maybe better transportation, more reliable transportation.
Oh yeah, I think that's important too, and I definitely understand your concerns. So that's the main reason why we're going to explore the different agencies that we have available to you that can assist you with getting housing, and then see what maybe we could find somewhere that's right next to transportation or what other opportunities might be available for you.
Yeah, and I really think, just the overwhelming feeling with this DUI of the fines. I know you talked that we'd work on something with that. It's just I never imagined I'd be dealing with this, and it scares me to think about how it could affect my life and my family. I I just want to make things right, move past this, and I just really need your support and some guidance to navigate through this, to understand, what my options are, and am I making the best choice?
I'm glad that you do feel safe enough to express that, and thank you for expressing your concerns with me. And, with regards to the DUI, as we talked about earlier, just making sure that you have the proper programs available to you and making sure that you have some type of assistance or see if there is any assistance for you to get with the fines. So I definitely
Yes.
understand how that could just add unnecessary stress onto your plate. So that's why we're going to work together and make sure that you are able to get through this.
Yeah. Thank you for understanding that.
Of course. So next, I just also wanted to kind of touch on strengthening the family communication and rebuilding trust because I know how important that is for you.
Yes.
So if you want, we can explore some strategies and consider how family therapy might play a role in this process.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, the objective with therapy is just to create a safe space for everybody to be able to express their feelings and concerns. So, this way, you guys are able to have family meetings where each person can share their thoughts without interruption, and it can be very effective. Um, I also recommend setting aside some regular family time because when you do little things with your kids, like activities, I know last time we talked, you said you had gone to the library and did story time with the little ones, which is a plus. So things like
Yes.
that can really help with rebuilding the connection and creating positive memories with each other.
Yeah.
Um, and that's really, really important. So with a trained therapist, you can explore any potential deeper issues like learning how to form a healthier communication style with your kids and creating a family unit that you're looking for. Then I know you had some challenges with your son that you also were concerned about, right?
Right.
So have you ever considered like individual therapy? Because I think it would be really beneficial to him.
So we are looking into that and we are trying to get him into therapy. I'm actually wanting both boys in therapy. I figure if one needs it, the other one can benefit from it.
Absolutely.
I don't know where to go or how to get that started either.
And I'm really glad you said that because I was going to say too that when one family member starts getting the support they need, then it could
Mhm.
encourage everybody else to do the same and want to engage. And that's really, really important. So we do have a couple of resources that we could provide to you and locations that we could give to you so that you can just call them and get a referral to a therapist, a family therapist, and some individual therapy for your boys. And that would be really good. And of course, some individual therapies for you too if you need it. So that way
Absolutely.
everybody has a safe space where they can talk and get some things off their chest.
Yes. I know you mentioned the setting aside time for, like just family time. I would really love if you were able to help me figure out where I can find something to make a schedule so that I can make sure it's blocked out for that. If the time is on the calendar, then I know that's when we start. It's just easier to follow if it's more structured.
What I find works for me, and it might work for you too, is if you use like, depending on the kind of phone you have, you can go straight into your calendar. So I have an iPhone, and I learned to just create the calendar that you need. So you have like your work calendar, you have your personal calendar like that, and then just put in the times that you want to block out for
Okay.
yourself. So like
Yeah.
from the morning time you could take some time and write out your work schedule and block that time out
Okay.
on your calendar. And then you could block out, like, let's just say if you want to wake up 30 minutes earlier, whatever that time is, you can put it up there in your calendar. Or you can create reminders so that these reminders get sent to you and get alerted on your phone. So either way, you'll get an alert set up for you. So if you want to see it on the calendar, you can see it on the calendar. If you want to set it up just as a reminder, you can set it up just as a reminder. But I find that works depending on what works best for you and what you're looking for exactly.
Okay. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Something else that I've seen people use, again, depending on what you're looking for, there's some free apps they have out there. It's one called Trello. So if you're a visual person and you like to actually see things, Trello allows you to
Right.
move the cards over and create like different projects and break it up by week, what you want to see broken out in this week or this week. So that may be another alternative depending on how creative you want to get with it.
And is it just like Trello?
hmm
Okay. That's really cool. I think I'll try that.
Yeah, that one is it's fun because you could just have fun with it and you could put pictures in there. Like you could really just jazz it up to whatever you like to see. So it really depends on
Yeah.
what your style is.
Okay. And the voice could even help with that. So that'd be another way to bring
Another
us together.
hmm Absolutely. See, you thinking that's good.
Okay. I like it.
All right. So, Maria, is there anything else that you want to talk about? Because I know we're getting close to our time together.
Um, I think we've covered it. Yeah, I'm not sure other than that.
Okay. Well, I just want to also just stress that you're really not alone in this journey. My
Okay.
support for you and for your family is ongoing. And I'm looking forward to us meeting regularly to discuss how the treatment plan is going for you in the way that it's been outlined and if there's any adjustments that need to be made. These follow-up sessions is definitely a chance for us to celebrate the small wins.
Yes.
Your feedback in the meeting is important. So thank you so much for your feedback that you've been providing for me. I'm really, really thankful for that. And I'm also just glad to see how far you've come, just from everything that's happened to where we are now. just getting things aligned, getting the job, finding daycare for the kids is really commendable. It's not really easy to navigate these really weird spaces, and you
Right.
did it. So I
It's
just
it's
want to
been a
commend
struggle. Yeah.
you. I'm sure. So, all right. So we've covered a lot. And I want to thank you again for your feedback. And we have our appointments on the calendar for next month. And
So those we might have to move around just a tiny bit, not this week, but the next week due to work.
okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll just work something out. Just let me know the times that work best for you, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Alrighty. Let me.
Okay. Maria,
Yes, ma'am.
hi. It's so nice to see you again. How have you been? How are the boys?
Everything's been good.
Good.
Life is getting a little better, so I'm feeling really confident now. Whole
That's
lot better than
great.
others. Yes,
Sure. So tell me what's going on. What's been happening?
so much. So the boys are doing better. Court's over. Um,
Yes.
Everything's going good. I mean, we got daycare.
Yay.
Yeah, so that's been perfect. So now it's like that was the hard part, the court daycare. So we
Yeah.
got
Where
that.
where did you find daycare? Which one did you go with?
I went ahead and went with the first one that you took me by. It's like 2 blocks away from the house, so that was perfect.
Yay.
And yes, they ended up calling saying they had space for both boys.
Good.
And they're also able to pick my oldest up and bring him back after school, so that was good. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's a big win. Tell me about how the Head Start thing went, getting him into preschool. Was he able to get in?
Well, he didn't get into preschool right now, but we're on the waiting list, and we decided to so since the daycare called, we're gonna just let him go to the daycare until Head Start calls.
Okay. Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay. And then let's see. So I just want to recap on what we did last time. We filled out a bunch of those applications. Has any of the jobs called you back?
Yes, they did.
Yay. Okay. Who called?
So I got a receptionist job at a company that's
Okay.
like 5 miles away from the daycare. So everything is within vicinity for me. So,
Good.
because I
So
have a car right now.
walking.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That is so great. I'm so happy to hear that. Um, okay, so we have reliable daycare. We have a job because we have reliable daycare. The
Yes.
boys that are doing better, are they engaged in services of counseling of some sort?
Yes. Both boys are going to be doing counseling. They don't
Good.
start until another week from now, but they're going to be doing play therapy.
Oh, good. Okay, that's fantastic. All
Yes.
right, so both boys are engaged in services or meeting these goals. What's next on your list?
I'm just trying to get housing, stable housing. Because right now where we're living, it's the rent is kind of high. So, I have grandma,
Yes.
and that's how things are going.
Okay. Now, are you going to be wanting to move with your grandmother, or is she going to stay in her place and you're just getting your own?
Well, right now we're trying to figure that out with her health because she's been having a little health problems. So if she's not able to, you know, make it on her own, I guess that she's gonna have to come with me because I would really like to have my own place.
Okay.
But if she's
So,
able enough and I can get her help there, then I'll let her stay there.
okay. So we're going to do housing, but we're going to bring grandma along and find something maybe a little more affordable and comfortable for everybody.
Yes. So,
Perfect. Okay.
so do you know
Yeah.
of anything, any places or any type of programs I could, you
Yes,
know?
I'm so glad you asked. And that's what, I wanted to talk to you about also is maybe we could make a plan, just kind of set out some steps that we can take to get you where we need to go and make sure we're meeting all your needs.
Okay.
Okay, so I do want to say, Maria, I would like you to be involved as much as possible. This is your plan. This is going to benefit you. So if at any time there's something you want to add or that you're not happy with, we can definitely rearrange that and just make it fit your needs.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to say, I have a list of places you can go. Have you heard of the Housing Authority before?
I heard of it, but I don't really know what the process is like. It's just been very stressful trying to find a house on my own because I don't know where to go and what places are like income based or anything like that. So I need help with that.
Absolutely. So what I can do is I have a list here. I've printed it out. So when we check out at the front desk, it'll be waiting for you. But it's a list of where you can go for Housing Authority to apply for Section 8 housing. And then there's also a list of income-based apartments and houses that can be very close to where you're at now. That way you're still within walking distance to everything you've accomplished.
Okay. Yes, because ultimately I would love to have a car, but right now I need to do what's best for my situation. So I need to be able to walk everywhere I need to go or catch the bus or
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. So the first step, I know when you come in, you say you've got a lot of anxiety, you just got a lot going on. I'd also like to maybe include something in there to work on grounding or stress relaxation type techniques. How does that sound?
That would be great. It would be.
Yeah.
I guess I've been so busy trying to just make everything happen. I don't focus on myself half of the time, and I really need that.
Sure. Self-care is a big one. We definitely need to make sure that we all practice that. So what I do is I will get you a compilation of just a few things that are real simple. Take them home, practice them in between times here. We'll definitely use them today. Start them off and just see how you like them. If you don't like them, we can pick some more, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yep. So I've got some relaxation and grounding techniques. We're going to work on the HUD housing or, housing for you and the boys and your grandma.
Okay.
We've got everything else taken care of. The job is done, daycare's done, counseling is done, the DUI is finally done and over with. You just have your courses and a few fines to pay.
Yes.
Okay. And any other things that you'd like to add to that?
I know that I do have these fines to pay, but do you know if I can possibly go back um somewhere to see if they can put me on some type of payment plan because I just started working and I'm trying to get like situated now.
Oh, absolutely. I do know that there is some places we can go. The courthouse will be our first start. So I could definitely add that in there as maybe setting a timeline to get some stuff like that done.
Okay. All
Perfect.
right.
Um, yeah, so I have your plan ready to go. Like I said, the
Okay.
first thing to work on is controlling the anxiety and the stress with relaxation and grounding techniques.
Okay.
Um, excuse me. I'd also like to add in some strengthening family communication and rebuilding trust. I feel like those are vital steps towards healing and growth for you and the boys.
Oh, that sounds good. So what is that exactly though?
So with that, I would like to recommend, uh, excuse me, I'd like to
You're
recommend setting aside some regular family time doing activities that, just everyone enjoys. That can include going to your local library again, just doing things that get you and the boys out.
okay. Okay.
Um,
That sounds good. Well, I'm not so stressed lately, so maybe that'll work out. I can get that done.
Absolutely. So sorry about that.
You're
Um,
fine.
so yeah, we definitely want to utilize the local agencies to find stable and affordable housing for you and your family. You guys, I have
Okay.
to take a break. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. So sorry about that, Maria. Thank you so much for being patient. So I did want to pick up where we left off. We're going to utilize local agencies to find stable and affordable housing for you and the family. And this is going to include, like I said, we're going to go to the housing authority, gather a list of eligible housing places, fill out the applications. We'll be turning them in. And then we're going to monitor your progress together. We'll adjust when needed, such as adding or removing goals. And Maria, remember, this plan is for you. Your input is important in everything we do. So how do you feel about that so far?
Everything sounds pretty good, but I just have a couple questions.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so do you know if the applications would be online or I would have to go there and, because I don't know where anything is really. So if I have to go there, I would
Sure.
probably need like addresses, you know,
Yes.
the times and everything that I would need to get there. I
Yes.
also was wondering, like, do they have any place that I can go that would have like affordable, um, I need more clothes for the boys since they're going out to school and, because before they can
Sure.
stay in the PJs all day, but now they need clothes. I would need furniture. I know I'm overwhelming right now, but I just need to
No, you're
know in
good.
advance. Okay. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think these are all great questions, and I'm so happy you're involved and you're asking those. I do have a list of places that, can help you furnish the house, that can help you get clothes for the boys, school supplies. I can add all of that to the list of what I already have. As I stated before, I have a list of all the places that you can go.
Okay.
But about now, with the applications being online or in person, you would definitely need to contact the facility to ask them.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. And the list of phone numbers, it's all on the paper, so you'll be able just to pick up the paperwork at the front desk and you'll see everything that's there.
And one more thing, I know I'm kind of rambling all over the place, but I
Yes, ma'am.
also, with the self-care thing, sometimes I don't have, I don't have the time or the money right now to go out and do outings. Is there anything else that you can suggest that I can just do like in the bathroom, in the mirror, like, just something just for me that will help me
Yeah.
out, that will help me decompress the stress that I have?
Yes, and that's also included in the paperwork I have for you up front is some of those grounding techniques.
Okay.
Those are going to help calm you, bring you into the center. Just make sure that you're feeling your best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, we can try a few of them before you even pick them up. That way, if you don't like them or they don't work for you, we can choose different ones.
So I can always just call and say, hey, I don't like that one. Can we do something else? I
Yeah,
mean, without coming in.
absolutely. And guided meditation, that'd be another one that's really great for you. I think you'll really enjoy that. And it's
Okay.
something that the boys can even join in if they really like it.
Okay. Okay. That
Yeah,
sounds good.
absolutely. And
Uh,
then is there anything else that you mentioned that I hadn't touched on?
I'm trying to think because I know it's like coming up towards the end of my sessions. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to make sure I get everything in it so I can be successful when I'm done and I don't have to, rely so much
sure.
on coming to therapy.
Yeah. I will
Um,
say there is a transport service if you have such as medical appointments for you or the boys. With your
okay.
insurance, all you have to do is give them a call. There's a number on the back of that card, and they will set up rides for you. I think you have to call them at least 24 hours in advance to get that set up, but your
Okay.
insurance will cover all of that.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay. I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah,
Um, well, I think we have pretty much everything. I know the boys, and I guess I can call you next week and give you an update on how the boys are doing in counseling so we can get a plan going for them in our final session.
I would
And
love that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess,
And
that's all. I don't have any more concern as of now.
okay. I was gonna ask, could you currently have a bus pass?
No, ma'am. No, I don't. I've been walking and doing
Okay.
everything online. Do you know
So
where I
maybe
can
we
get one of those from?
yes, let's work on getting you a bus pass set up also. I think I can add that into your plan.
Okay,
And then when I contact you, is that your personal cell phone or is that grandma's phone?
that's my phone. Yeah,
That is your
grandma
phone.
just, she
Okay.
gave it to me, yes.
Okay. Because we also have a program that will help you with the phone. It's not the greatest phone, it's nothing new or fancy, but it is a phone that the government would pay for if you're interested or if that would help you.
Oh, I would love that. I would love
Yeah.
that.
Let's add that into your plan as well. I'm just making notes as we talk. That way we can make sure we get everything in there.
Okay.
Okay. Excuse me one moment. Hmm. So we've got a list of places that are going to help you with the necessities that you need. We've got the housing. We're going to cough again. Okay, so I think we have everything we need. Would you
Ma'am.
like to set up a few more appointments?
Well, I guess we have one more, correct? Or do I don't know. I don't remember how many I have left. Two more, or is
I
this the
think
last?
I think we have a couple more left.
Okay, yes, ma'am. I would go.
Maria, I apologize. I've been a little under the weather this week,
It's okay. It's okay.
but I think, thank you. I think we do have a few more appointments coming up because we'll be able to fill out the applications together during those appointments before we let you go and send you on your way to be off by yourself.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming in.
And I hope you feel better soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait, shoot. Okay.
Hello, Maria. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's nice to see you again.
Yes, me too. Thank you. Likewise.
Okay, so how was the boys?
They're really good. Just adjusting to, everything that we have going on and the new schedules and stuff like that.
Everything that we have going on. What you have going on so far?
Well, we've been working with, sorry, my nose is running now. We've been working with
It's okay.
we've been working with just getting them acclimated in childcare, the daycare and the regular childcare that we had set up for them. And then I don't know if I told you, but I was able to find a job. So
Oh
that's
my
a plus
God. Good
too.
job. Good job.
Yes. So
And
now just,
daycare. Okay.
yeah, so just getting everything situated or whatever, it's a lot, but it's new.
So how is that feeling for you?
Um,
That everything's getting on board.
I want to say I kind of feel accomplished, because it's something that I would, first of all, being a single parent is hard already as it is. So when you have that support to like help you set up daycare and, just finding a job, because that's also something I didn't really see for myself. I don't know why, but like just finding a job and having my own sense of independence and now the kids being in school and me being able to navigate that whole new dynamic for them and with myself, it's just so I feel a little accomplished. I'm a little proud of myself.
I'm proud of you. You made
Thank
a lot of
you.
you made a lot of strides from the last time I've seen you. So
Yes,
that's good. And you look happy. You're not in here down like you was last time. So that's good.
right. Thank you.
Okay. So how is that going with the transportation? Is it hard for you to get them back and forth or
If I'm being honest, it's a little annoying only because, like, I don't have a car. So just trying to make sure that I get my youngest son to daycare in time, to make sure the oldest kid gets to school on time, then to make sure that I make it to work on time, just all of those things. And then I don't have, like, I don't get on a bus or anything like that. So I'm walking to these locations and then having to go all the way back to the other side to get to work. So that part is a little frustrating. And then the same with picking them all up. So I haven't fully mastered that yet, but with everything else, it's okay.
Okay, so did you check with the child care center to see if they have any type of transportation back and forth, or if that was an
I,
option?
I didn't even know I could ask them that. So no, if I'm being honest, I didn't.
Okay, yes, some places do offer, because did you go with the Head Start or is this just a child care center?
Um, I believe it's just, what's the difference between Head Start and the child care, please? I
Well,
don't know
Head
if I ever
Start is
asked.
more, yeah, Head Start more so go along with the school system kind of. And daycare, it could be private or however that works. It's like a separate entity. So I didn't know but I do know that some daycares offer transportation. Head Start normally does. They do have a bus. So if he did get into the Head Start program, that's something you probably want to ask about there.
Okay, so I believe it's just a regular daycare, and I guess I should ask. I'll ask the I'll ask the teacher when I go to pick him up today, or I could probably give them a call after we're done with our meeting and just ask about the transportation. Do you know if I would have to pay for it?
No, normally I know with Head Start. Now with the private entities, they may have like a small fee or they may be waiving something, but I know with Head Start, it pretty much comes with the services. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. So I think
Okay.
probably find out what's going on, what type of
And then
program that.
and then I know that they have I know you guys are helping me pay for childcare through whatever that program is that you help me with. Do you know if maybe they would help me with paying for transportation?
Oh, you know what? My colleague did tell me on yesterday that they have a program set up through your insurance company that but you probably would have to call them 24 hours in advance, but they will be able to give transportation for you and the family.
Okay. So I'll
Yes.
definitely check that out. Thank you.
Yes. Check that out. And then let me know how that works out. So maybe I can let some other people know how that works.
Okay.
Yes. So we want to go ahead and I see that you got everything in place. You got your job. Woo-hoo. And
Yes,
we
thank you.
have daycare, which is the best. So when you
Yeah.
and so now we need to go ahead and see what else we need to get some other goals going for you. Matter of fact, before I start that, how did your DUI turn out for you? I know I went to court with you, but I stepped out in the last part when they were giving you the last
Oh,
sanction.
when they were I think they was telling I think at that point they were telling me about my fine. So pretty much I just have a fine that I have to pay, and they suggested that I go to like a program or something like that.
Okay, that's not too bad. So you were worrying for nothing. I mean, not nothing, but we were really and had anxiety.
Yeah. Cause just with the whole DUI thing, I was feeling really overwhelmed with everything, especially the whole DUI charge, and I know how it would affect me with the kids, and I didn't want my kids to be taken away or anything like that, or how it would affect my life. And then just having something like that on your record, you just don't know, because these days it's hard to get a job. So I didn't know if
Yeah.
maybe that would come up when I was getting a job, or and that would hinder me from getting a job. So it was just trying to navigate that whole situation was just frustrating and annoying. And because especially when you just like, first of all, I just only went to go have a drink, and it was the one time I get in trouble, and so here we are. But it is what it is. So I guess I'll just have to go to the little program or whatever it is that you guys suggest, and just take it from there.
Well, I also know that I'm gonna link you up with legal aid. So I just want you to go ahead and complete that situation. I know that probably was annoying, but like I said, this is the end to the beginning. So maybe I do know like with legal situations, they sometimes have first time programs where, hey, this was just her first time, a one time thing. You can probably try to get that off your record. Um and see how we can move forward about that and see if that's an option.
Okay.
Would you like that?
Yes, please.
Okay, that'll be good. So now that we have everything in place, so what's next? What would you like to do to work on next? What would be the next?
Um, so I guess now is just finding an apartment somewhere for me and the kids to live, so that they can have their own space.
Okay. So what's going to happen with grandma and how's her health doing?
Her health is honestly declining, so, obviously we're not going to be able to stay here for too much longer. And I guess I kind of wouldn't mind if she stayed with us if I was able to have somebody come in and like help me with her, or if there was somewhere I could take her during the day while I'm at work, because obviously I'd be worried about her. But
Right.
that's pretty much it. Just and then I don't even know how much time I would have to find an apartment or anything like that. But like even with the deposit and things, like would you guys be able to help me with finding an apartment and then like a deposit or something?
Okay. Well, I'm sorry grandma's not doing too well, so that means we can't leave her alone. And well, first what I would like to do is tell you they do have with insurance companies, like I know grandma's probably in have insurance. They do have where you can have like I guess sit-in nurses come
Hmm.
in and take care of her probably when you're not home, or you can have someone even when you're home, however you would like to schedule it. I know you can have them, and the insurance will pay for that person to come out and see her in home. I don't know if it's, how that, if she's going to want to go back and forth to a facility, but that would probably be best if you can have an in-home sitter. With the housing, we in Yakima, we do have these Section 8 programs. So they have like housing programs where they're income based. And being that you just started, I think we should go with something like that or Section 8. I have multiple other agencies and homes that are like income based apartments that you can probably check out. But I'm going to put that on a list for you, so when you leave, you can check all of those out. Um, I don't know if they're going to be in person or online, but what we can do is go through that list and see what's online and fill all of those things out. And then what's in person, maybe we can take some time to, schedule those and get that done as well. So you can have all of those options available to you.
Okay, thank you.
That be good for you?
Yes, it will. Thank you.
Okay. So what type of job did you get?
Um, right now it was just like a little fast food job that I found around the corner at the Dunkin' Donuts. Something
Well,
quick
that's
that I could
good.
get to.
At least the kids can get little donuts after work, so
Right?
that's yeah. So that'll be good. Okay, so now that we have everything in place, we have so you have now completed. So we're gonna be so how long is that program for you for the DUI?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. It was one I know I just have to pay the fine and then I have to find a program and I guess attend. I don't know if I have to report it back to them or whatever, or like I'm pretty sure I would have to complete it. So I don't even know because I haven't even started the process of finding a program or like where to go or anything and just finding something that goes on a schedule. Because like I
Mhm.
said, we're just still getting used to everything. So
Okay.
while the kids are at school, I'm at work, and then sometimes they're at home and I'm at work because hours vary, and then sometimes I work on the weekends. So you know, just
Okay. So when you say adjusted, how is the boys doing, with the change? Is is it a good transition for them, or are they having a difficult time, or
I can't say it is a good or a bad transition. Again, kids will be kids. It's just now the kids have to get used to being like, so my youngest, he's around new kids and a new teacher and stuff like that during the day. So he has to get used to that. And the mother kid has to get used to now going to a program after school for another hour or two. So, they come home, oh, mom, I'm tired, or I don't want to do this, or don't want to clean up after themselves, just the regular stuff. So, kids will be
okay, okay.
kids. That's the worst of it.
Okay, so do we have so you have any services for the boys, any type of counseling or any type of things like that in place?
I know, I know we talked about it, but I haven't found them any where to go. Do you know of any resources?
Yes, I do. And I would like to add that to your treatment plan as well. Um, I know an awesome place that does non-directive type therapy through play, or they also have like guided play. So we can probably, it's geared more towards kids. It's not so formal like you and I are doing right here. And it
Mm-hmm.
makes it fun for them to open up. So
Mm.
we can try to get you going with that. I'm going to also add that onto your list of
Okay.
things to do. And
Okay.
I know I'm not going to put too much on your plate for next time, but we're going to do that. So with that being said, I understand that this is very stressful for you. I would like to offer you a couple of strategies that you can just do in-house just for you. Like in the morning when you wake up, try to do a few positive affirmations. Um, Throughout the day when you doodling or just thinking about it, even on your phone, just write a couple goals down that you would like to achieve. Or I'm going to put a couple of coping strategies on the end of that paper as well. It's not a to-do, but you can just look over it just for you to just, take in when life is coming. Because I know as a single mother alone, it's hard. But
Mm-hmm.
as you can see, is everything is going up for you. You have a job. You have a child care. All we have now to do is get you that place that you want, and in the long run, get you a car and stability. Here you come. So
Right.
we're gonna just work on those things for you. Is there anything else you would like to add to this plan?
Um, no, I think those points are just really important. So I think we pretty much covered it all, just making sure that the kids have some services, making sure that I definitely managing the stress and managing my time. And I'm definitely gonna look into those programs you provide to me for the DUI, see if I can get some type of guidance or support there because I'm ready to get that over with so I don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yes, and I'm going to say this one last thing. I just want you to be encouraged that right now is not forever. So maybe a long-term goal, you can, after we get this DUI cleared up, you can think about going back to school to further your education and try to get a better job and just get in a better situation. Just I want you to also think about your short term goals, but also think about your long-term goals as well.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, well, I'm so happy you came to see me and life is good for you.
Yes, it's definitely turning around for the best. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Problem. Would you like to go ahead and set your next meeting?
Yeah, how many more times do we have to meet? Do you know?
I think about one or two more times.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, we can go ahead and set it. We could do like the same time as now if it works for me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next time. And don't forget to get your paper resources when you leave out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay. Thank you.